Okay, my grasshoppers, on to the third part of the stroke. We started off first with the first move, which was the preparation. We just talked about the slot, which was the way your hand is positioned before contact. And now we're going to be exploring the point of contact with the double bend position, and then we'll follow up with a video at the end, which will be about the uncoiling or the follow through. Now let's get right to it. The double bend position is pretty much right where your hand is when you make contact with the ball right there. Here, arguably, you have one of probably the two biggest forehands in the game, Fernando Gonzalez and Andy Roddick right there. And notice where they are, and I'm going to show you where most everybody is at contact right there. You know, the wrist is laid back and the elbow is bent in. So if obviously it's a lot easier to reach that position if you have a semi-western or western grip. You can still do it with an eastern forehand grip. A little tougher with a continental grip, but you shouldn't be hitting a continental grip forehand anyways. But that is where you want to make contact. So once again, I'm going to try to keep it brief. Yeah, like I always keep it brief. I keep rambling on all the time. But anyway, making contact right there, and this is the area I want you to focus on, everybody. The wrist is laid back and the elbow is bent. Elbow bent, wrist laid back. So let's run through a series of guys, and then I'm going to open up Pandora's box. We're going to see how Federer and Nadal do it. They're not as bent, but yet they won two in the world. There's a big argument out there of which is the right way to do it. I think both ways are possible, obviously, but I definitely recommend the double bend position. And then I will get to Roger and Rafa in a second right here. Let's go with Gael Monfils, which actually has a pretty big forehand, and so does James Blake right there. If you see Monfils, there's remember the first move, there's the slot, and there's the double bend position where you can see where the arm right here is bent, and this is not a very good angle right there, but you can see the palm of his hand, therefore the wrist is laid back. Let's go on to James Blake, probably one of the biggest forehands in the game. Once again, there's the first move, both hands on the racket, go to the slot right about there, and there is the double bent position right there, right at contact. It's a better angle right here where you have the wrist laid back, the forearm right here, and the arm bent as well. I'm going to go through a series of guys right there. We're going to go with Safin next, and with Tsonga. And you'll see the front view, not the greatest angle to see the way the wrist is laid back, but you can tell right there, obviously, if the racket is parallel to the net right there, his wrist is laid back, and you can easily see that the arm is bent right here. So there's a double bent right there. Same thing with Tsonga, boom, wrist laid back, elbow bent. Let's go to the next two characters, which is Tommy Haas and Andy Murray. Same thing, go through the motion right there, boom. There's a better angle from both of them right there when I'm on the side. Right there you can see how, once again, right here, the wrist is laid back and the elbow is bent in right here, and very obviously done right there. So pretty much the reason why you want to achieve the double bend position is how you get the most leverage. You're at your strongest. Your body is backing up the shot at its strongest position. Your whole body is behind your hand right there. And that is why you want to get to that. And we're going to finish up with two more guys before I get into Rafa and Roger. And you can see Mr. Novak Djokovic right there, very obvious right there, wrist laid back, elbow bent. And right here with Leighton Hewitt, once again, same thing. You guys see exactly what I'm talking about. Now let's go to, yes, the number 1 and 2 player in the world right there, and you're going to see that Rafa and Roger, and this is a big argument out there. A few guys are, I've seen arguing, it's just the correct way of hitting it is a straight arm forehand, becoming more modern now, but if you see what he does, we could call this the single bent position if you want, because they're definitely laying their wrist back at contact. But I'm going to roll the tape here. I still think that the arms are slightly bent, because if you see Rafa, right after he hits the ball, you can see the arm bend and the arm roll right there. The wrist roll, the arm bend and roll right there. So the arm really is not really straight. There's a slight bend, so we like to call that the instead of the single bend position, maybe the single bend position with a slight bend of the arm right there, and then you can continue and then follow through. Actually, the double bent position was coined by, the phrase the double bent position was coined by John Yandell back in the early 90s. He was definitely one of the pioneers of video analysis. He was the founder of Tennis1 and .com, and now he's just sprung off to tennisplayer.net, which is two great sites. Great stuff if you haven't seen him yet. But so the point of this video is you got to try to get, if you see these two guys, at least getting a signal bent and keep your arm slightly bent. But to me, the way I teach every day on the courts, I'm going to finish up with the two women right there, is I teach the double bent position, which is eye contact, elbow bent, wrist laid back. This is Sharapova and Hunchakova right there finishing their stroke. So hopefully you understood a little bit what I'm talking about. It's just all about getting leverage if you were to push a car, push a fridge, push something, that's how you position yourself behind the object. You lay your wrist back, you keep your elbow bent in close to your body, and you push forward. So the double bent position is all about getting leverage. Hopefully that made sense. And once again, you can check out my website, www.tennisaction.com. I have articles written about the double bent position and more videos. And hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, you can leave them through my YouTube account or through the website. Hope you enjoyed it.